I've come all the way back into Sète, or the outskirts of Sète, to pick up the Via Rhôna, the EuroVelo 17. And that is what this podcast is going to be all about. Me cycling from here in Sète to Avignon, Lyon, and then east in the direction of Switzerland, Geneva, and for me, finishing in Andermatt, which is the end of the EuroVelo 17. At that point, I'll pick up the Rhine Cycle Route, which will hopefully get me back to Rotterdam. In a few moments, I'm going to be setting off in the direction of Montpellier, following the route of the Via Rhôna, EuroVelo 17. I'm going to catch a train from Montpellier up to Avignon, which is about 100 kilometres, and then can continue from there. I've not found the official start point of the Via Rhôna in Sète. OpenStreetMap would suggest that it's just a roundabout, so I haven't found that roundabout, but I have found a sign that says Via Rhôna, EuroVelo 17, and I need to start cycling in the direction of Andermatt. My train is at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's now 10:30. I reckon I should be able to do that, no problem. And I think the wind is going to help me. Fingers crossed. This morning has been fantastic so far, and it's only about 8:30. Came out of the campsite, had to cross back over the Rhône to find the Via Rhôna, and then this footbridge, which was just wow. Wasn't expecting that at all. It was an old footbridge, or an old bridge rather, that had been destroyed at various points, including being blown up by the resistance during the war. But in more modern times, well, after suffering a fire, they rebuilt it and they repurposed it as a walking and cycling bridge, albeit a cycling bridge that you're supposed to push your bike across. I have to say I didn't, but there was nobody there to see me. But a fantastic way to start the morning. Et voilà. Bonjour. Today has been one of the best days of cycling so far, if not the best days. And I'm not talking just about the Via Rhôna here, I'm talking about the entire trip since leaving Rotterdam. It's been increasingly spectacular the further I've cycled along the valley of the Rhône. Haven't climbed very much at all. I'm still only at 250 metres. I think I live higher than 250 metres in West Yorkshire. But what has happened is that the mountains on either side, as I get closer and closer to the Alps, to the centre of the Alps, the mountains have obviously shot up. And to my left is Le Grand Colombier, which is one of the climbs of the Tour de France, sticking up, a great hulk of a thing. The other thing that has been quite nice today is my energy levels. Yesterday, come 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after I'd cycled 80 kilometres, I was just ready to flop, and quite happy to stop at the campsite when I arrived there quite early. That was after having had a day off in Lyon the previous day. Whereas today, I've cycled well over 100 kilometres now. I've still got about another 10-15 kilometres to go until my destination at Sète. And I feel as bright as I did when I got out of the tent this morning. How does that work? Perhaps it's the great big pile of pasta that I ate last night at the campsite, combined of course with what I ate at that little snack bar. I've arrived at the end of the Via Rhôna at Saint-Gingolph in France, literally within a few steps of Switzerland, and I have to say it's a far nicer spot than that roundabout in Sète that appeared to be the start of the Via Rhôna. Well, the start for me, the end for some people heading south. My recommendation would be to do it in the direction I've done it in, head into the mountains. I think it gets better the further north and the further east you get, but whatever your choice. Now there is a sign next to the little shelter where I've parked the bike, and it says 17, that refers to EuroVelo 17, Glacier du Rhône, 240 kilometres. So that's what I've now got to do in the next 3 or 4 days in order to get myself nearly to Andermatt. Well, this is a little bit of a surprise to say the least. Who knew that the UCI, the headquarters of the UCI, the Centre Mondial du Cyclisme, was in Aigle? I'm stuck in Aigle because of the rain chucking it down, and perhaps the most impressive thing here, apart from the Swiss reception and the exhibition, is the fact that if you wander just to the other side of the exhibition, if you come a little bit further, you find a velodrome, a full-scale functioning velodrome, and round the edge is an exhibition of pictures. How strange that I should end up in Aigle because of the rain and find myself standing in the heart of world cycling. Each of the next 3 days is going to involve probably around 1,000 metres of climbing. Hasn't really started yet. In fact, today I think I've done more downhill than uphill, and now I'm just trundling on the flat next to the Rhône itself. But at some point it will kick in, and then the same tomorrow to the Furka Pass and then down into Andermatt, so a bit of downhill tomorrow, And then the day after, when I start the Rhine Cycle Route, climbing up again to another pass before heading off down the Rhine. Now, the thing that has changed this morning, shortly after leaving Sète, where I stayed last night, is that I'm now in German-speaking Switzerland. So I'm outside my linguistic comfort zone. But today's destination is a place called Camping Brigge, and it will involve a bit of climbing.